30 years ago, Steve Ells started a new Mexican restaurant. He called it Chipotle, and he took it from one location in 1993 to over 3,200 locations worldwide today, making over $10 billion a year in sales. Which is why in this video, I'm going to reveal the 5 secrets that Steve used to create an entirely new dining category with Chipotle. How they sold over 1,000 burritos per day from that first location, and many more secrets that you can steal for your own restaurant. Let's jump into it. Most restaurants start by making their menu as big as possible. And the thinking goes that if you have a big menu with a lot of options, that each of those options will be able to appeal to a specific type of customer. But Steve actually took the opposite approach, because from the beginning, his goal was to maximize the amount of orders that they could do per hour, knowing that if he could reach his goal of doing 100 orders per hour, that he would beat every other restaurant on efficiency. He knew that the typical fast food restaurant was only able to serve less than 50 orders per hour at the time, and basically designed his entire concept around this assembly line approach that was able to double his throughput. To do that, he had to go in the opposite direction of having this big menu that every new restaurant seems to take, and instead base his menu around just 4 dishes: bowls, salads, burritos, and tacos. He intentionally made them dishes that had shared ingredients across all of them, and it achieved this trifecta of operational excellence, where he was simultaneously able to have low food cost, low food wastage, because he's buying the ingredients in bulk and they're used across dishes, and they simplify operations, increasing his efficiency on the labor cost and increasing his throughput so that customers get their orders faster, and so that ultimately he's able to make more money in revenue for those locations. This is so different from what most restaurants start doing. And if you've started with dozens of different menu items to try and appeal to many customers, it's not your fault. That's the conventional wisdom in the industry. What I'd recommend doing is thinking about each of the dishes you have and whether there's an opportunity to do with your concept what Steve did with Chipotle, where you simplify the menu and look for dishes that have shared ingredients that can each independently attract new customers. If you want help with this, then just comment your restaurant name and the city it's in down below, and I'll take a look at your menu, analyzing which dishes seem to be driving you the most new customers and how I'd recommend paring it down so that you too are able to achieve this operational efficiency and this super fast, convenient, high revenue throughput customer experience. There's another secret reason why this is so powerful, which is that it gives the management team this number to obsess the entire team with. And that number is how many customers they're able to serve in a single hour. I just saw this thread on Reddit where Chipotle employees are bragging to each other around how many customers they've been able to serve. And one employee from one of the Chicago branches jumps in and talks about how his location was able to get up to 380 customers served in a single hour. By obsessing the Chipotle employees over increasing the throughput per hour, they're also able to deliver this really important customer outcome of ensuring that everybody that orders gets served quickly, regardless of how many people are trying to order at once. By the way, my restaurant owner mind reading skills have gotten very good, and I can tell what you're thinking right now. If you're serving 380 customers an hour, the quality must be trash. That's why in strategy number 5, we're going to talk about the systems that Chipotle put in place to ensure quality control even when they're doing such high throughputs. But before we get there, it's really important that we cover secret number 2. What's so interesting about Steve's story is that he was able to achieve both high quality food and this incredible order volume. And the way came from this insight that he had after working in fine dining, but being obsessed with going to taquerias, where he knew the fine dining world on how to create high quality food, and also saw that the taqueria world was able to produce fast service. So he asked himself, why not combine the best of both worlds? The high quality food from fine dining with the fast service of the taquerias. And that's how Chipotle was born. And that brings us to secret 2, combining these proven concepts to create a new, unique concept as a result. Right off the bat of starting Chipotle, high quality food that was previously only available in the full service environment, and fast service that was previously only available in low quality food, fast food environments, Steve immediately had a massive success on his hands. In the first 30 days, he got to selling over 1,000 burritos per day and literally had lines outside the door of that initial location. That's the power of taking these proven concepts, which people don't otherwise combine in their minds, and getting the best of both worlds from them. If you want to continue learning about the best practices working today to grow a restaurant, then click that subscribe button down below, because every week I post a new video based on what I'm learning in helping thousands of restaurants grow or studying the very best like Chipotle. Steve's differentiation of Chipotle didn't just stop there of combining these unusual characteristics of different concept types. He took it a step further and connected it to this trend that he saw in society, where people were caring more about doing right by the planet and doing right by their bodies. He saw that there was this movement towards health that was being accelerated by documentaries being released, like Super Size Me, and decided to connect what Chipotle was doing to that movement through taking a strong stance in his mission, saying that Chipotle was about food with integrity. One thing you'll notice about the strongest mission statements in business is that they not only relate to a trend that's happening in society, but they give you a clear enemy that the mission is positioned against. In the case of Chipotle, by saying that they were serving food with integrity, they were implying that all of these other fast food restaurants at their price point weren't serving food with integrity, and pointing out the clear health issues and environmental issues that they were causing. And they didn't just stop there in having a fancy mission statement. They made real operational sacrifices to make it clear to their customers that they were serious about this mission. For example, they designed all of their restaurants around this open kitchen concept, which exposes how food is being made to customers as they're ordering. There's clear operational sacrifices to doing this. It rules out certain forms of real estate. It's super expensive to knock down walls and have the kitchen exposed for people to see. It leads to all sorts of operational complexities in ensuring that the kitchen is visually maintained, knowing that customers are going to be constantly looking at it. But Steve decided that all of those different sacrifices were worth it because it would show his customers that he was serious about operating as food with integrity, and it worked. It created this experience around ordering that wasn't just speaking out what you wanted to a server, where you could actually see with your eyes as the chicken was being grilled, or as they prepared those avocados to upsell you for $2 scoops of guac, or any of the other differentiators that you could actually see and smell happening as you place that order. This further differentiated Chipotle as a fast casual restaurant because it took this concept that was previously starting to be pioneered by full service restaurants and having their open kitchens for guests to look into, and brought it to the lower end of the market. The other interesting thing about having such a strong mission is that it takes it from being about you to being about your guest. Most restaurants take this position that their guests should choose them because they're the best restaurant. Whereas a restaurant with a strong mission statement that's about having food with integrity and helping the planet actually gives the guest extra status in choosing their restaurant, because they're voting with their dollars around this decision, this movement that's helping the planet and helping their body. And it becomes about something more than just going to the best restaurant. It becomes this status symbol in the person's identity. Many of the top brands have this same appeal. When you buy Nike, you're not just buying these rubber shoes, you're buying this association with the best athlete and this mission of making athletics accessible throughout life. Tesla is another great example of this, where there are dozens of different electric cars that you can buy today, but Tesla's mission to save the planet through pioneering this shift is much more exciting to consumers to buy. In addition to taking this strong stance on mission, Chipotle made another brilliant decision, which again made the experience about the guest, but this time it was about saving the guest money and earning the guest better value through being a loyalty customer. That's secret number 4, gamifying spending money with the brand. In 2018, Chipotle noticed a trend, which was that more and more of the consumer world was either obsessed with games or obsessed with gamified loyalty programs, like was working so successfully at Starbucks, where people were spending more money with Starbucks knowing that every time they spent money, they got more points towards free items in the future. And Chipotle decided to do the same thing through launching their loyalty program. In just 30 days time of embedding it into their app and their website, they had over 1 million customer installs using it. In the first year of launching this new loyalty program, they saw a 19% increase in year-over-year revenue, totaling $1.4 billion in additional sales. What's so exciting about this though is that it's not just huge corporations locations like Chipotle that can see big sales increases through having their own loyalty system. I'm not saying that independent restaurants can see a $1+ billion increase in sales, but I am saying that it's proven that when independent restaurants make spending money with them gamified, fun, and rewarding to guests, that guests do it more often, just like they do with large corporations. You may be thinking to yourself, Adam, that's great and all for Chipotle, this publicly traded company with tens of billions of dollars in market cap, but will having a loyalty program even work or be accessible to an independent restaurant owner? And the good news there is the answer is a clear yes. We can see this demonstrated recently in this case study from Metro Pizza. Metro Pizza is a 4-location independent restaurant in Las Vegas that decided, like Chipotle, to modernize their guest experience and to gamify spending money with them to increase order frequency and order size. And the results they saw in the first 30 days alone were bananas. We're talking a $10,000+ lift in sales, in addition to 11,000 people downloading their app and enrolling in their loyalty program, just like happened with Chipotle. I've personally seen this happen thousands of times now with independent restaurants, where they modernize their online technology and they include a loyalty program and then see increases in sales as a result. The key to making it work, though, is ensuring that you're not giving away items that are too high in food cost or too frequently, so that the math actually makes sense. And to do that, you have to design that loyalty system, just like Chipotle, around the high margin, low food cost items. In Chipotle's case, that might be the chips and guac. In the case of Metro Pizza, a pizzeria, it'll be the mozzarella sticks or the side salad or these other items that might have a listing price on the menu of $5 to $10, but that in reality cost less than $1 to make. And that difference between the listing price on the menu and what they actually cost in food cost is entirely perceived by the guest as being amazing value for ordering directly from you. So that encourages the behavior of the guest using your app or using your website to order from you, and ultimately gets them to do it more frequently and do it in place of the third-party delivery apps like DoorDash. If you want to see that case study of Metro Pizza, then check the comment section down below. I'll pin a comment with the link to the Metro Pizza case study so that you can see before and after their numbers and how specifically they achieved that result, so that you can try and do similar in your restaurant. With all of the genius strategies that we've covered in this video, it might seem like Chipotle's journey to success has just been straight up into the right, all sunshine and rainbows, but that hasn't been the case, because you might remember that less than 10 years ago, Chipotle was in crisis. Some of their customers were starting to get sick from E. coli, and this became a national news story. This news story dropped Chipotle sales by 30% that year and sent their stock price diving by 46%. Some people were wondering whether Chipotle was going to make it, but because of this secret, they not only survived, they got back to bigger success than ever. And that secret is secret number 5, maintaining customer trust at all costs. It would have been easy to panic from Chipotle's perspective and tell customers that you were working on it, but then not be very transparent about what steps you were taking. Chipotle took the opposite approach, where they immediately accepted responsibility for the issues that were happening and made public statements apologizing to people and saying they were going to get to the bottom of it. Then they didn't just speak those words, they took clear action to educate guests transparently on how they were evolving their food safety processes, on how they were changing how they were sourcing food in order to protect them moving forward. They put in-store signage and signage on their website, educating guests on these steps and the progress they were making. And as a result, just 2 years later, they saw a huge rebound where they'd gone from being down in sales to more than doubling their sales as customer confidence recovered, because people saw that Chipotle's mission wasn't just having food with integrity, but that they stood with integrity when things went wrong and focused on making it right. Just like Chipotle's doing this same set of steps, it's something that I'd recommend every independent restaurant get great at, because like Chipotle, there's going to be ups in your journey and there's going to be downs. There's going to be that unfair negative review that gets posted, or that ridiculous customer experience that ends up having the potential to damage the reputation. And what matters is not whether you have a perfectly smooth journey, because that's impossible, but how you respond when you get punched in the face. That's the last secret. It's much easier said than done, but if you're able to consistently do it, then when these crises come up, like with Chipotle, you're able to weather them just as well, because you're operating with integrity and with this long-term mindset that customers see in you and are more willing to repeatedly buy from you as a result. By the way, I created another video on Shake Shack's success, detailing the secrets that Danny Meyer used to take that brand from brand new to worth billions of dollars in less than 15 15 years. So I recommend checking out that video. I'll put it to the right of me now if you want to click through and watch it and figure out how you can take those same secrets from Shake Shack's success and apply them to growing your restaurant business.